higher side chat show. Greg Carwood and Company.
So one thing I want to get to that's really interesting, probably the most interesting single thing in the astrology of 2017 is something that's already being called the Great American Eclipse.
Yeah.
The Great American Eclipse is a total solar eclipse in Leo. Now, we haven't had a total solar eclipse that was visible across pretty much the entire continental US since, was it
1918.
1918, right? So this doesn't happen very often. And what's even more interesting about that is, so this eclipse takes place at the very end of the sign of Leo. And Trump has that Mars that we were talking about and that ascendant in the last degrees of Leo. So this is right on his Mars and it's right on his ascendant. If a client came to me and we were sitting down, we're like, oh, let's talk about this year, and I saw that, my eyebrows would shoot through my hairline. That's a big one as far as astrology goes. Eclipses, it's interesting. It can be difficult to know exactly what eclipses do, but they do stuff.
It's a highly charged moment.
Yeah, you underline it a couple times and, you get out your highlighter, right? And that ascendant, we're talking about that, the ascending degree of a chart, that's considered to be an extremely sensitive point in a person's natal chart. We could say that that's analogous to your doorstop. That's the front door of your chart, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so when you get a significant configuration that comes to your doorstep like that, it's gonna mean stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's really interesting. And, it's so funny that it's literally on the rising of the president of the United States and just happens to be visible across all of the United States.
Man.
Right. So, that says something about this country. It's my country.
Can you say if it's more positive or negative?
So what I will say is, because it's in Leo and it's on the dragon's head or north node of the moon, in general, this eclipse cycle, because this one is in Leo, but we're going to have them in Leo and Aquarius until early 2018. Eclipses move in cycles where you'll get them in this pair of signs and then this pair of signs and then the next pair of signs. It's roughly 18 months per cycle. It doesn't always work out to exactly that. This one's going to be more like 23.
Mm-hmm.
But so this one has the north node or the dragon's head, which is the eclipse indicator, in Leo. So half of them are going to be in Leo. Generally, if I were interpreting that, it would mean that it would speak to a rise in identification with, how should we say, a rise in nationalism, a rise in, waving a banner and identifying with the banner. It's very like team sports.
Damn.
On a positive level, on an individual level, I think this cycle will give a lot of people the courage to stand up and say, this is who I am and this is what I believe. It's basically a push to get out there and represent whatever. And it's very linked to the identification mechanism, which obviously works on a nationalist level and works on a local level and an individual level. We can think of a lot of nationalism has led to terrible things, but that process of identification with something is not inherently pathological unless you're a really serious Buddhist, right? Like being willing to step into, what, this is who I am and this is what I believe. And I'm willing to be seen doing that, right?
That seems to be happening a lot, even with the Women's March and the negative reaction to Trump. I mean, that's in the air.
Yeah, so that cycle is basically due to start now. But then the most obvious part of it is the total solar eclipse. That's the most dramatic point in, roughly in an almost 2-year cycle of eclipses, right? Because that's the thing when you're looking at cycles versus moments.
Yes.
And this doesn't have to be astrological. Something's brewing for a while before you get that moment that'll get written down, in history.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the American Revolution, for example, it's not like there was just this one bad day and everybody's like, screw Britain.
Right.
Things had been building. And so, what's interesting about this particular eclipse cycle is this really is the American eclipse cycle. America was born under this eclipse cycle. We have 12, the way I'm cutting it up, we have 12 different eclipse cycles that repeat every 19 years. They're about 18 months each, right? And so everybody is born during one eclipse cycle or another. This is the one that the United States was born under. Sorry, I'm pulling my U.S. chart off the wall just so I can actually look at it while I talk.
Sure.
Yeah, if you look at the United States chart, that's the cycle we're in. That's the cycle we're born in. And so this being willing to stand up and say we're this or I'm this is part of the American national character, right? To a certain degree, that was the United States act of defiance against the British Empire. And that's very American, right?
Well, they tie that yellow ribbon round the oak tree. They've worn out all the prayer in their hearts. All along thought they were rooting for the home team as they're sent to the game and torn apart. We twist this tourniquet upon the pipeline that he carries all the pain in the world. As we blindly clap and cheer from the sidelines, it's clear on a losing streak from the very start. And that's where they found me, in the cemetery. A smoking gun in my hand, now I'm down for the land of the free. THC, the American scream. They took that faded ribbon off the oak tree. They've worn out all the hope in their hearts. All along thought I was doing the right thing. Now I'm lying in a pool of my blood, and that's where they